Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, he is a legend in luxury retail. The great Chuck Steelman is in the house. We'll be talking to him next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team. And the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, as many of you know, I married up. The great Victoria Snee from Highland Park Village is my wife, and so she's exposed me to the world of luxury retail. But I have to tell you, I'm a poor kid from Detroit, so what do I know about fancy clothes? Somebody who knows a lot about luxury retail is Chuck Steelman. Thank you for coming on the show.
You know, Jeff, thanks for coming. I have to disagree because you are wearing Gucci today, I noticed. So,
yes.
don't sell yourself short there.
And I think this is Peter Millar. So, but she dresses.
So you're in style.
Yes, she dresses me up like a little Ken doll. Okay, so let's talk about your journey because you've been a household name in Dallas-Fort Worth since 2005.
Yes, I moved here in 2005. I was recommended to Neiman Marcus by jewelry designer Stephen Lagos, who I've worked with in my previous role at the MGM Mirage. And it was such an exhilarating experience to spend 16 years of my life working in luxury fashion and public relations and special events. And it was such a remarkable, fun journey.
Okay, let's go back to your childhood, because being a poor kid from Detroit, I had hand-me-downs. I had no taste or style whatsoever. What's your first memory of knowing that you had style?
You know, I don't really remember, but my mom always used to tell me that I always liked wearing bow ties, and I always wanted to wear a tie, even if we were just going to a supermarket or to the shopping center or whatever. But when I was in high school, I auditioned to be on the team board of the local department store in Mobile, Alabama, where I grew up. And back in the late 80s and early 90s, every department store had a fashion director. And most department stores had team boards, which was high school juniors and seniors that were able to model in fashion shows and work in the store. You know, you could go in and be an assistant to one of the department managers and get paid. And so, you know, we were all excited about getting paid, and you got a discount, and you really learned how to be involved in the community as well. So it was such a great experience. It really fueled my interest to pursue a career in fashion show production or special events, and which now kind of led to experience, which is what we're seeing in today's world.
And I have to believe that when you came to Dallas, because you were working in Willow Bend.
Yes.
And there's a lot of pressure on you because, one, Dallas knows style. And so you've got a lot of eyes on you. Did you feel pressure?
I wouldn't say I felt pressure. It was. I think more of what I felt was getting to know people fast and getting out in the community and really getting to know the customers and the new customers and the opportunities for for Neiman Marcus and Willow Bend in North Dallas, which is where I started my career at Neiman Marcus. And it was always fun to, it was a challenge to get out and get to know people because I didn't grow up here, and I was tasked to go and find new groups and new customers, and successfully I was able to do that. And it was, I love the North Dallas, Collin County community. There's so many people that have been lifelong friends that I knew, like your wife, Victoria, through my time at Neiman Marcus at Willow Bend.
Well, you're always on television. You're always kind of a showman. But I found one clip as I was preparing for this, and I want you to.
This is kind of scary.
I want you to. I want you to set this clip up. So it is with Yasmin.
Yasmin Tadia.
Okay. So set it up for us. What are we about to see?
Okay. So Avondale Dealerships here in North Texas, is a luxury car company, and they have. And they're amazing. They have great customer service. They know about customer experience. And so they reached out to me because they were creating a series that they could focus on people that they felt like represented their brand. And so Yasmin and I were paired together because we had worked together for a long time. And so we really had a conversation about our relationship and how, you know, a Bentley could kind of work into our lives. You know, I still don't have the Bentley, but I liked it.
Well, the entire interview is on YouTube if you look it up. But here is the trailer. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Talk about arriving in style, Yasmin.
You came in real style. That was a Bentley.
You should have heard the sound system.
Did you see my Aston Martin?
Of course I saw it.
Oh, it's absolutely stunning.
I've seen you in action, you know. Who is that girl with the cotton candy and these Louboutin shoes? Like, who are you?
My employees were called DJs, and they spin candy instead of music, and I set up that huge DJ booth because you guys were like, we want the newest, coolest thing in Dallas.
I've worked in and been in the retail and fashion industry pretty much my whole life,
Right.
Working for Neiman Marcus and going on all these great experiences and meeting incredible people, you know,
Right.
like fascinating people all over the world. I think when you're able to see that you had an impact on someone else's life, it really makes you feel like life's journey is worth it.
How much fun was that?
It was a lot of fun. I mean, yeah, so I met Yasmin, who is an entrepreneur here in Dallas, and we worked together at Neiman Marcus. She did so many different events, and really when she launched her career. And Neiman Marcus, and it wasn't just me, there was multiple people within the company, and the public relations managers from all across the country were booking her and using her because she brought experience to the table when it came to food service. And so we just had a really fun relationship, and we got to know each other and spent a lot of time together. And it was fun to kind of reconnect and think about the journey that we've been on. And I've been able to watch her grow her company. And there's a fun story because she's a single mom and she has a son, and you know, he calls me Uncle Chuck. And you know, it was kind of fun because he's now a teenager, and how you know, our lives intersected through business, but then we became friends, and it was a fun story, and I'm still waiting on my Bentley.
Okay, you have another talent that I envy you for. I'm asked to be a MC occasionally, and it always makes me nervous. I don't really like to do it. You are just a natural MC, and I want to show a little video, and I want you to kind of narrate it for us.
I mean, I'm not aware of all these videos, so it's like, hopefully it's going to be.
Okay, we're gonna roll this video.
Okay,
and so
this is another Neiman Marcus. Oh, okay, this is Project Beauty from, this is in Hawaii, actually.
Wow.
So Neiman Marcus has a store in Ala Moana Center in Honolulu, and I was asked by the public relations manager to MC this event. And actually, I created this event when I was at Neiman Marcus Willow Bend, and it became a corporate event. And then when I was promoted into corporate, we partnered with a third-party charge card company, and we actually launched Project Beauty in all of Neiman Marcus stores. And we would do, some stores would do them twice a year, and some would do them you know, once a year, when it just depends. And so I got invited to go to a lot of the stores to MC them. And so it was really great because it gives consumers an opportunity to kind of be exposed to a lot of different cosmetics products that were available at Neiman Marcus. And, you know, and it was fun because, you know, getting to meet so many customers, and, you know, it wasn't a bad gig to get to fly to Hawaii to MC. Of course, I was only there for a day. So people were like, you were in Hawaii, like, and now you're back home. I'm like, well, I wasn't on vacation. I was working. So like I flew over, we did the event, and then I came back home. But it was a lot of fun. And, you know, when I created this, it was, you know, your wife loves cosmetics, as you know, and she has a book, and that's one of the reasons why she and I became such good friends, because we both have a love of the cosmetic industry. But it was fun to see because it one local event, which became something that we did corporately, and all 42 stores were able to participate because there were 42 stores at the time, and we drove millions of dollars in incremental sales each season through this event that I created. And it was really fun to see the success of Project Beauty, and taking someone who loves cosmetics and then branching out there. The customer was able to say, okay, I only use Estee Lauder and I use Revive skincare, but when I opened the box to all the different options that were available in the cosmetics area, then that individual became someone who loved 6 different brands. And because, as you know, like, you know, once you start using a product, you replenish it and you buy it more and more and more. So the event not only drove immediate sales, but it had a long-term effect on the overall cosmetic business for the company.
And in your very colorful career, you've had a chance to hobnob with the rich and famous. We're going to take you on a This Is Your Life slideshow. Let's show the first picture, and I want you to talk about this.
Lil Wayne. You know, I will say one of my friends from college, when I posted on Facebook, they're like, of all the people in the world, I would never have put Chuck and Lil Wayne in the same photo, you know. But he was great to work with, and we had a collection. This was something from Neiman Marcus, and we launched a brand that he was part of, and he made several appearances. He was actually very amazing to work with, and he was so good with the customers. And he really brought in a lot of new customers, and people loved to have the opportunity to meet Lil Wayne.
Okay, the next one.
Morgan Fairchild. So I met Morgan through a charity event many years ago, and she and I became very good friends. And she's from Dallas, originally. And I keep saying she needs to move back to Dallas, you know. But she's an amazing lady. She's done so much work, and what I admire her for is I've served on the board of many different organizations that focus on helping people who are living with HIV and AIDS. And Morgan was so instrumental back when HIV and AIDS was something that wasn't cool to be a part of. And she really did a lot of work. And so I really admired her for all the stuff that she did. She not only does a lot of work with people who were really dying of AIDS then, but she does a lot of work for women's rights, for the environment. Politically, she's very involved in a lot. You can follow Morgan on Twitter. She's very active. But she and I are very good friends. And I just saw her actually this past weekend in LA when I was there for fun.
Okay, next one.
Well, everybody loves she's like a Dallas jewel, like Charlotte, and really a Texas jewel, I should say. But Charlotte Jones is amazing, and she works for the Cowboys. And I actually had the opportunity to host her for Paris Fashion Week through Neiman Marcus. But she's such a great community leader here in our city.
Absolutely. Next one.
Oh, well, I mean, you should talk about this picture, Jeff, not me. Well, Victoria is great. She and I have known each other for 20 years, and it's always fun to see her. And she and I work together on several different charity organizations as well. And, you know, working in marketing and fashion, you know, we love to brainstorm and share best practices. So she's been a really good friend to me for so many years.
Wow. Okay, the next one. Yes, well, you have to explain this one.
Okay, well, I mentioned I served on the board of some charities. Well, this was the House of Diffa Gala that was themed Arabesque. So it was somewhat of an Arabic theme, I guess you could say. And so we had camels that were outside the Omni Hotel welcoming guests when they arrived to the event. And it was such a fun night, and I served as the board chair that year, and one of my good friends, Sami Aboud, was actually the chair of Arabesque. But it's such a big event, as you know, because your wife was on the board as well, and you know it takes a whole group of people to make this happen, and so it was a lot of fun. And we raised over $1 million for over 20 HIV and AIDS organizations in North Texas. So it's a great cause, and it's always a lot of fun.
And I think we've got one more picture.
Oh, so Emma Bell, I met Emma, actually. She was part of the cast of the second Dallas series that was on TNT. And as you know, they filmed in Dallas. And I was at a party, and we were talking, and Emma was there, and they introduced me as Emma. I didn't realize who she was. And the more we talked, I finally was like, I've seen this girl before. And finally, I was like, wait, you're the girl on the new Dallas show. She's like, yeah, I thought you knew. I was like, I had no idea. I just thought you were attending this party. And she is very talented. And she emceed the Fashion Group International Night of Stars event for the organization when she was here. So it was really fun. And she's a great girl. She lives in LA now, and she's a mom now. And she is always involved in a lot. She's one of these women that have moved from being a performer, and she's doing some directing, so she's very talented as well.
Okay, you've mentioned some charities. I know you're very passionate about your charity work. Talk about some of the ones that are near and dear to your heart.
Well, I mean, I've had a really busy summer working with several nonprofit organizations, and the first I want to talk about is the Family Place is coming up. They have a big event called Texas Trailblazers Award Luncheon, which is set for October 10th. And we're super excited to welcome Brooke Shields to Dallas who is the guest speaker. And I think that the audience is going to love hearing her story. And you know, Brooke is one of those superstars that has had a career that's lasted 5 decades, because she was a teenager when she came onto the scene. And I'm excited because, you know, she was a pretty famous model in the 80s and as a 16, 17-year-old. So there's a lot of interesting things that her career has taken her on the journey, and it'll be fun to meet her and welcome her to Texas and also raise money for such a worthwhile cause as the Family Places makes a difference in the lives of women and their children who are dealing with domestic violence. And so the Family Place is a positive star in their life to be able to take them and get them on the right course. So a great way to support the Family Places coming out on October 10th and meeting Brooke Shields and hearing her story. But I've also worked a lot. I work a lot with the Dallas Zoo, and I got involved with the Dallas Zoo maybe about 4 years ago when my good friends Chris and Robin Chauvin chaired Zoo to Do. So I served on the host committee and chaired the silent auction for them that year. But when I went to the event, it's outside at the zoo. You don't have to wear a tuxedo, so people are dressed in animal print hoodies, or it says outside, so you're kind of dressing casual and more fun. But the event was so much fun, and so I've continuously chaired the silent auction since then. And so that's coming up on November the 4th. And the zoo, what I learned about the zoo is not only is it a great tourist attraction for people that are visiting our great city, and it's also great for locals to take their children during the summer, on a Saturday to see all the animals or something to do. But they donate so much time and resources to the global wildlife community to preserve our wildlife. And as you know, there's so much going on with our environment, and everybody has to do something to make a difference. And I think that the work that they're able to do globally is pretty impressive. So you can always go to their website and learn more about what they do. But their staff also gets the opportunity to travel to other countries and work with teams on the ground there to preserve wildlife and to protect our globe, a place where we live. So that's always a lot of fun to support the Dallas Zoo. And I have to tell you, one of my favorite parts about the event is there are certain animals that get to socialize with you while you're at the zoo. And so I have a connection with Aruba, the flamingo, that like to come around and they socialize with you. But believe it or not, the flamingos are very social. As you see them clump together and they flock in little groups, and they love to come, when there's a group of people talking, they love to get right in the middle of the action. Like they want to be part of it. So it's fun to interact with the animals. But anyway, they do a lot of great work. And then we saw some pictures from Fashion Group International on the screen earlier in the interview. And Fashion Group is an organization I'm very passionate about. I've been a member for over 25 years, and it's an opportunity for people who live and work in fashion or a lifestyle industry to network. And now more than ever since the pandemic, connections matter. And that's really what the organization connects people all over the world. And I have so many contacts that I've made through Fashion Group from cities all across the country. And so the Night of Stars is coming up on November the 10th. And the honorees have recently been announced. So I can say Christian Siriano is the fashion honoree, and Beth Ann Hardison, who is really one of the very first African-American supermodels. And she launched the careers of many African-American models that we know today. And Nina Garcia is coming to town. Wow. So she's one of the honorees as well. So it's going to be a really special night, and all of the proceeds from the Night of Stars benefit scholarships for people like me. If I was a college student, it funds people's careers and allows college students the opportunity to pursue a career in fashion. And some of them become fashion designers, some of them go into work in marketing, and some of them go into management. So it's important that we are always working to get the next generation of fashion leaders prepared. Yes. And that's the great thing about Fashion Group. It connects people, but at the same time, we raise money to help the future fashion leaders of our community. And then finally, I'm also involved with the Farrah Fawcett Foundation, which is an organization that celebrates the life of Farrah Fawcett, and it benefits cancer research. And we're really excited on September the 28th to welcome Alana Stewart, Jacqueline Smith, and Linda Gray, who are chairing the event, to Dallas. George Hamilton is the MC, and Katie Couric is receiving the award for her work with Stand Up to Cancer. And the funding from all the event is benefits Hope Lodge in Dallas. And I'm very passionate about that organization because my great aunt benefited from their services from the New Orleans Hope Lodge. And so I've been involved with them since I learned that, and I think it's a lot of fun because they bring in a lot of celebrities to town, but at the same time, it's making an impact and helping people who are dealing with cancer treatment now because of Hope Lodge, but then also proceeds benefit Stand Up for Cancer, which really focuses more on research. So it's a really great cause. So I've had a busy summer being involved in all 4 of these organizations, and I'm super excited to see all of them come into fruition this year.
And I can't think of a better place than Dallas-Fort Worth. We're such a philanthropic community, aren't we?
I will say, I've been here almost 20 years, and I'm amazed at how much money people are willing to give to so many different causes, and not only financially, but people also give of their time and resources. And so it's really great to see the communities from all different types of people come together to work to make things better for people who are in need. And it's really exciting to see all the things that Dallas does. Wow. You're right. I think this is one of the best cities in our country when it comes to giving back.
Wow. Chuck, you have been just a pleasure to talk to, and we're going to end with your Instagram account so people can follow you and plug in the great Chuck Steelman. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks so much, Jeff. It was great seeing you and reminiscing on all these fun things that I didn't know I was going to see today. So,
all right, that's it for now. We'll see you next time.